All right, so starting out on the figure 8 curling iron technique, you're going to take your marcel iron, you're going to preheat it and test it with a strip paper. Mine's already been tested. You're then going to take your section of hair. You don't want to choose a section of hair that's way too big. You can always go a little bit bigger with the iron, but roughly you want to get a section that's about the same diameter of the iron. You can make a small iron work like a big one with this technique, which does work. This technique is used for very long hair, like I've said before. It's also known as the 2-loop curling iron technique, and it is a way to get a nice S shape at the root, and to the mid shaft and ends you get a nice spiral. This style creates very elegant looks. It can be very sophisticated, and if you really want to get creative, you can actually use 2 different iron sizes in one head, and it works really good for an updo. So starting off, remember our parts of the iron, your fingers are always going to be held like this. Your pinky and your ring finger are always underneath, and your index finger and middle finger are at the top of the handle. This right here on top is our shell, and the piece in the middle is our barrel. The barrel is what curls the hair. The shell, you have to apply pressure to the shell, so it's all up to you to do that. If you apply it too hard, you can end up denting the hair, so really practice getting a good handle on the hair first. I also recommend doing the techniques on the mannequin cool. First of all, if this is your first time doing this technique, do it on a mannequin. Don't ever attempt to do this on yourself because it really isn't possible and you can really damage your hair. Always have a professional do this technique on you. And another important thing is when you're practicing, always try it on cool because it is easier to up the heat of the iron than to completely repair damaged hair or glue it right back on the head. So, take your section. This is a technique called silking. You're going to prepare the hair to be curled. You do a few quick passes. Then you take the hair with your shell right on top. And I'm turning as I go in. Do a half turn and turn it so where you can just gently take the end of the hair with your middle and your index finger. Gently roll, push the loop forward, take the strand of hair, cross it around, and turn it up, and keep clicking as you go. And then what you'll see is your figure 8 formed. You will see 2 loops with the strand of hair in the middle. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you guys that closer. This strand right here, you're going to wait a few seconds, and then you're going to click down. I do 1, 2, 3. Let it heat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You want to hear that clicking sound. 1, 2, 3. Hold the strand of hair on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. And this is your one shape that you'll get with this. It's a beautiful curl. You get a nice S shape, like I said, right up here, and a nice little spiral on the ends. You can stretch it out a little bit, you could pin it back, you could do a gentle brush through to create some nice texture. This style creates a very nice vintage Hollywood look, like the 1940s, 1930s. And if you're really creative with this technique, you can do a nice Victorian era style. So it's good to get some historical inspiration. You can use the style on various models and different photo shoots. It's a really good style and technique, it's a really good technique to know when you're doing upstyling and working on hair. Especially longer hair, because with longer hair, if you know how to do this technique, you don't have to waste your money on an extra long iron, which I've seen those in the spring irons, and as professionals, if you're using a spring iron, that's gonna burn your knuckles out. We're professionals, we use marcel irons, and we practice our techniques. And I will finish curling this, and I'll do a little style for you guys. All right, here's a finished figure 8 curl. Mannequin hair is actually really a pain in the butt to work with, but ironically it shows curls really well. This technique will vary depending on the hair's texture, the hair's density, all of that. So take that in mind when you're trying this out. Always put the iron on lower because it's easier to just increase the temperature. If you go too hot, you can end up burning the hair right off to a crisp. If the hair is chemically treated, if it's bleached, you really want to start off and do this cautiously. But it's a nice look, very Hollywood glamour-esque. I'll probably do this in a future video for an upstyle. And I do apologize for saying a lot, I'm actually kind of tired. So the next thing I'll probably use this mannequin for is a hair color demo or a basic perm wrap, one of the two. Alright everyone, this is just another example of the figure 8 curl. And for this style I had used the 1/2 inch marcel iron with the 3/4 inch, and I alternated each piece and I gave it a gentle, very gentle comb out just to kind of frame the face and the bangs. As you can see, you get a nice S shape that goes into a spiral curl. On shorter hair you get a lot of body with it. One thing I will tell you is with shorter hair you're going to want to use a smaller iron, so you really want to use 1/2 inch, between 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. Don't go over 3/4 inch and use a 1 inch because it won't be able to wrap around the hair. You want to use either a figure 6 or a barrel curl depending on the length. But it's a great style to get some texture in there. You can probably pin it back, put a few accessories in. Great way to get a fun look. So that's it, figure 8 curl on shorter hair. This is what the result should look like. Very nice texture to it, and you can style it different ways.